Nintendo making headlines again. You know, this was a story that I wasn't going to really talk about or anything, but I've seen it on more publications than I did with the story about them losing almost $500 million in losses. So more people are talking about this story, and a lot of people are giving Nintendo a lot of hell over it. And so my opinion and take on it is kind of a little bit different than what I've been seeing out in the press, so I did want to cover it for you. So here's what's going down. So Nintendo has a game coming out that's already been released in Japan. It's called Tamagotchi Life. Now, this game is sort of like a Sims type game. So you're in this world, you're in this universe with other people who are their little avatars that they have over at Nintendo. They're called Miis. So in this universe, you can walk around and you can interact with people. You can become friends, have relationships with them. You can date them, and you can even marry people. You can at least marry them if they're of the opposite sex. So this was a game, again, built and launched in Japan, and it's now coming out in the States and in the UK. Now, before launch, there has been sort of a movement in order to get gay marriage coded into this game. So these people want to be able to marry people or Miis of the same sex and be able to play the game that way. And so anyway, this has been a topic that has been going on for about a month, and today Nintendo finally responded. So here's their response. Nintendo never intended to make any form of social commentary with the launch of Tamagotchi Life. The relationship options in the game represent a playful alternative world rather than a real-life simulation. We hope that all of our fans will see that Tamagotchi Life was intended to be a whimsical and quirky game, and that we were absolutely not trying to provide social commentary. The ability for same-sex relationships to occur in the game was not part of the original game that launched in Japan, and that game is made up of the same code that was used to localize it for the regions outside of Japan. So basically, Nintendo's saying, no, we're not going to recode the game to include gay marriage for the US and the UK. So a lot of people have come down hard on Nintendo for this decision. And so anyway, I wanted to kind of talk about my thoughts and opinions on it. So as far as me personally, I'm a freedom lover, and I've talked about that a lot on this channel. I want to be free. I want you to be free. And freedom for me means the ability to do with your body whatever the hell you want to. You know, I don't need a government bureaucracy to tell me what I can and can't put in my body. I don't need them to tell me what I can and can't do with a consensual adult, you know? I think you have the right as a human being to make those decisions on your own, and there may be consequences for those decisions, but I think you should be able to make those decisions. So having said that, I really have no issues at all with gay marriage. You know, I don't care what you put your dick into or what you rub your clit on. I don't really care. As long as you're not infringing on my rights, you're not infringing on anybody else's rights, as long as it's between consensual adults, again, I do not care. I love freedom. But if you love freedom, you also have to love the ability to disagree. To not go along with the crowd that's screaming the loudest. Tolerance is a two-way street. And so if Nintendo is creating a kid-friendly game and they don't want to focus on sex and they don't want to include gay marriage, then I support them 100%. If that's your number one concern, then there's games out there where you can get married to a gay person. There's Fable and Skyrim, and there's Mass Effect, and if you want to go create a Kickstarter where you create a game that's got a gay protagonist, you can do that. It's really quite simple. You don't like it, you don't buy it. Truth is, this game isn't about sex. Nintendo doesn't want to make it about sex, and I don't blame them, because a lot of parents don't want their kids having to deal with those types of subjects at like 6 and 8 years old. It's kind of bullshit. I wouldn't want my kids to be learning about sex in a video game. I would rather me teach them. It's the parent's job. It's not the video game's job. It's a teacher's job, maybe, if the parents aren't doing it. For me, live and let live. That does it for me, the Red Dragon. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.